Hey everybody, welcome back. How about a nice rare action figure review? And I'm not calling this a rare Star Wars action figure, just a rare action figure in general, because I'm going to throw some different ones at you too. We'll go ahead and start off looking at this really cool Return of the Jedi Pruneface. This is a 1984 figure, and this is the original card. And unfortunately, I don't have a loose one to show you at the moment. So we're going to be kind of limited as to what we can talk about figure-wise, but we can certainly talk about this packaging. It probably looks familiar to you because of the recent vintage tribute packaging that's been coming out in the stores, and even lucky enough to have a mail-in sticker. In this case, it's for the Anakin Skywalker for free, with proofs of purchase from any 5 Star Wars action figures. And at that time, the proof of purchase looks like that. That's what you had to cut off. It was a bit trickier than just taking out a piece of cardboard. And here's another good look at that offer on the back. Here's a look at the other figures in the line. And I always liked looking at the back of these, and you could get the names of them all. And I always thought it was interesting how Pruneface was one of those goofy names that Kenner gave to the characters like Hammerhead and Walrus Man and Snaggletooth. And I'm sure he has a much more Star Wars accurate name at this point, you know, like Abby or something, I don't know. But take note of the Kmart tag here. And also note that the Chad is still attached, although it has been pegged at some point. But it's fortunately still attached here. And just take a look at the figure as much as we can. The bubble's kind of yellowed, but that's okay. He has an awfully large head. Kind of looks like he has a big brain. A lot of people were curious about this figure. They were like, who's Pruneface? Where did he turn up? A lot of people assumed he turned up somewhere in Jabba's palace, but actually he was in the briefing, Admiral Akbar's briefing, before the Battle of Endor. He was on the Rebel Alliance, so he was one of the good guys. Notice he's also carrying what looks like a World War II era rifle. They didn't even bother to give him a science fiction weapon, and Kenner sort of duplicated that. Let me try to show you that without the glare. And it's a brown accessory, which is interesting because it was one of the few accessories that was unique. So there's a good look at that figure again. And now let's go ahead and open her up. I'm just kidding. Okay, I wouldn't do that. Alright. So, Pruneface. An interesting character. I'm not exactly sure what his name is, so feel free to leave that in a comment now. I'm sure they've renamed him and power forced him and redone him, and they might even redo him again for the new vintage upcoming waves. Now let's look at another one. To kind of go along with the mail-in, let's just look at that very Anakin that you could get. See? Here it is. And here's that Anakin, the $1 Million Smile Anakin. I like this figure because he has sort of spirit-looking eyes. Or either that or he has cataracts. But his eyes are very... they're just basically like shimmery light blue. He has a great smile. He's wearing Jedi-looking robes. And he has the typical articulation. However, he cannot hold anything. He can just stand there. Very ghostly-looking figure. He actually he can move both of his legs. And that's how the bottom looks. I kind of like this figure all the same because, as we know, George Lucas sort of rewrote this old version of Anakin out when he redid the movies and replaced him with Hayden Christensen, which kind of bothered a lot of the traditional fans like me. And I know I have a few of you who've subscribed. Empire MN is a good example. Someone like me who really prefers the old original trilogy and doesn't really like the changes. Here's a Power of the Force update of this figure. And in this case, they made him look less spirit-like and more just like a human. They even gave him a lightsaber. And He has the Power of the Force style cloak, slightly better articulation. I think he has a swivel waist, and still has the $1 million smile, but he has realistic looking eyes. But all the same, this is a character that never really existed. So, it's certainly not with a lightsaber. In this form, yes, but in this form, this is only a hypothetical Anakin. All the same, is interesting to have, and I don't want to call this a rare figure per se. This one's more rare, but I just wanted to show you one of the upgrades. The next figure I want to show you is this Utapau Shadow Trooper, Target exclusive. Mary got me this for Christmas a few years ago. It's rare as in you're not going to find it on the shelves, but if you want to get your hands on one, it's a pretty easy thing to do on Amazon or eBay. It's not very expensive. It does have a Target exclusive sticker. It says superior articulation, which means probably the standard of any regular figure now. Although he's incredibly cool looking. I think this is a great looking figure. You know, a black and gray clone trooper with a red visor, I just think is really awesome. He comes with 2 weapons, his rifle and his pistol. And there is a rendering of him right here. Let's see. Let's take a look at the back. And since this is a special exclusive figure, it just has the Utapau Shadow Trooper and the little story. I'll read it. The Utapau Shadow Troopers have played an essential role in helping the Jedi fight the Separatist forces' massive droid armies, but their allegiances changed after the secret declaration of Order 66. Armed with a sharpshooting blaster rifle and protected by hard black armor, this Utapau Shadow Trooper commander is ready for battle. So, all things considered, just a great figure to add to your collection for your clone army. An easy one to get, but rare in the sense that it's pretty much unique. Now let's look at a truly rare figure. Here is the 1982 Indiana Jones for Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I put him on a Star Wars stand just because I want him to stand up for you. He doesn't stand very well. And this is a really interesting figure because it's very difficult to find one that's intact. They or with its accessories like this. So let's carefully remove this whip. And here's his pistol. Now, he came with a spring-loaded arm. And the point of that was you would put the whip in his hand and he would have a whipping effect. He would pull back and the arm would spring. The problem is they made these arms on this figure out of incredibly hard and brittle plastic. In fact, it's almost defective plastic. Because most Indiana Joneses did not survive with their thumbs intact for very long. The whip handle was kind of chunky, and when you put it in his hand, it would break that thumb right off. And then you would have a useless Indy. If you put the gun in his hand for the quick draw, as you can see, the holster's open for a quick draw effect. It would break the thumb right off again, and this thumb would also come off. So it's very rare to find an Indy from 1982 with its thumbs intact. So that's something to say. Now this is a 1982 figure by Kenner, and notice that it does have articulation in the knees, which was pretty cool considering you didn't see that on the Star Wars figures that were being made at the same time. He has a hook to hang his whip if you wanted to coil it up and hang it right there. Here's a good look at his original pistol. On the back you can see it says LFL 1982 Lucasfilms Limited, made in HK, Hong Kong. Now just for comparison's sake, here's a contemporary Indiana Jones figure with a removable hat. And of course, you know, much better detailing. Okay, so it's definitely changed a lot. But I love this figure all the same. Well, anyway, I know this was a quick video, and I know I haven't been around very much, but I hope this holds everybody until my next one. And so please subscribe, and subscribe to my friends. And I'll see you next time. Bye.